Hello everyone, welcome to Faith Connection 777. I thought it'd be helpful to talk about how I read tarot cards so you can get a better idea of how my readings play out. Every tarot card reader is different in how they approach reading the cards. I'll start off by saying that the cards, yes, they come with a pamphlet of instructions as to what each card means. If you order your own tarot cards, you can kind of get a description of each card, and so I've absorbed these meanings, but I'm using my psychic ability to channel information from spirit guides, from angels, from my higher self, from your higher self, your spirit guides, to bring depth into and intuitive insight into what the cards are saying. So a lot of times you'll have readers who don't have psychic ability, or I should say, we all have psychic ability. It's just, is yours developed enough? And so oftentimes you will get a psychic reader who doesn't really channel the spiritual realm effectively or with the right practice. And so you just want to be really careful where you're getting your messages from. Okay. So when I start a tarot reading, the first thing I do is clear the energy space. I'm typically doing a lot of readings, depending on what they are. Collective reading, meaning I'm reading a whole audience of people on YouTube, or I'm reading an individual either remotely through like virtual, like I'll pre-record a video and send the video to, my client. So I do give personal readings. I'll leave a link to it here to learn more. You can also go to my website, faithconnection777.com. But at any rate, so to get started, what I do is I clear the space because I've done lots of readings. I light white sage to do that, and it basically just clears the space from prior readings. And then from there, I meditate on your sign. So if I'm doing a collective reading where there's lots of people watching, I will meditate on the sign of Pisces. For example, if you are a Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, those are the aspects of the zodiac that I am channeling. And so what I'll do is to pick up your energy, I will meditate on this specific sign, or you, depending on what type of reading I'm doing, and I will also shuffle the cards while that is taking place so that the energy can be infused into the cards. Okay, and so once the shuffling has been done, I start to pull through a method that I've picked up, and every tarot reader is different. Whatever cards pop out is what I will interpret. So right now, I'll just give a collective reading for those who are watching this video now, just so we can get an idea of what I mean. So the first card that popped out, let's take a look here. We have the World card, okay? Now, you can look up the specific meanings of each card, but the World card represents an ending, okay? I do have different spreads I use depending on what kind of reading it is as well. I'll do a Celtic cross reading. I have other types of spreads I use. For love, I do a his and her, you versus them kind of a reading. Or I will do, generally my favorite type of reading is where I do kind of a past, present, and future, and then an overall energy. So typically it's 3 cards and then one from the bottom of the deck, which will give me an overall energy of the reading. So let's just go ahead and do that now. We have a 9 of Swords. Let's see what else we get here. All right, we have a 6 of Swords, okay? And then I do a bottom of the deck, the Magician card, okay? And this is the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. I thought this would be the best deck to use for demonstrating how I read the cards. Now, this is a past, present, and future, but typically these cards all play with each other, meaning this 6 of Swords may be in your future. However, it could also be in your present. Time is kind of an illusion in tarot, meaning you're processing through these energies, especially when I'm doing a collective reading, because some of these events may have already happened to you, whereas in the collective, somebody else may have this type of event is yet to come. So keep in mind that, I mentioned before, you can go through the book and see what each card means, but really the value in the tarot reading comes from my psychic ability. So what does that mean? So I'm channeling information, like I mentioned before, from the spiritual realm. Spirit guides, my higher self, your spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors that have passed over. So like family members that have passed away, I'm channeling that information as well. And so I have a couple of different abilities that I use to add additional depth to these stories. So just keeping in mind that tarot is just a tool to signal your brain towards an outcome. But basically what I have, my abilities are claircognizance, which is just an automatic knowing of what's going on. I'm also very empathic, so I take on the emotions and feelings that you are experiencing. It's something I've carried for my entire life, and you're either born as an empath or you're not. I didn't start developing my psychic ability until much later. I was very unaware of my abilities and talents and what it actually meant, and so I've worked to develop these skills. But so I have claircognizance, which is just deep inner knowing. It's not anything that I've read from a book or that anybody has told me. It's knowledge that comes directly from the spirit realm into my crown chakra, which is the chakra at the top of the head. Then I also have clairaudience, which is the ability to actually hear vibrations in my ear. It's as if somebody is whispering in my ear. It's like a vibration. So I have buzzing, ringing in the ears, things of that nature that give me other insights into what's happening, or full on somebody talking in my ear. It's so bizarre. You know that it's a voice from someone else. It's very interesting. I also have a lot of vivid dreams. You may experience a lot of vivid dreams, deja vus, repeating numbers, things of that nature that will tell me additional information behind the cards as well. I also have what's called clairvoyance, and this is probably one that you've heard often. And clairvoyance is seeing images, seeing the future through the third eye. The third eye is a gland that actually, the gland is called the pineal gland, and it's in your brain. It's an actual physical gland in your brain that is the source of where you pick up information, and it feeds it through what's called the third eye. And it's basically just visions of it will have symbols, it will have a story play out in actual visions where I see what people look like, I see events play out in the future, I see auras, energetic fields around people, and that's a very interesting way of knowing what's happening in reading someone as well. So if I am reading somebody individually, like in a private reading, that's when the clairvoyance really comes through, because I'm able to actually see like the next person that you're going to meet in a relationship, what they look like, what color hair they have, what color eyes they have, things of this nature. It's very informative. And so this is really what tarot card reading is all about. It's not just about the cards. There are images in the cards that you can pick up, colors, symbols, things of that nature that will give me insight into how you are feeling and thinking and what's happening in your life. But for the most part, the information is coming from your spirit guides and the spirit realm. And tarot cards are just a tool, like I said, that will signal my brain down the right path to gather additional information from the spiritual realm. So now after I've pulled the cards, I start to read back and forth the general energies that are going on in your life. Okay, so like the Magician card, let's talk about this for a minute. The Magician card means you're manifesting something possibly without anyone knowing about it. So for example, you're working on a new business idea and you aren't revealing to anyone what you're working on. But I can start to pull information based on your spirit guides as to what kind of business that is. Is it something that's going to be successful for you? Is it something that is going to shock people, etc.? This story could change very easily based on what information I'm gathering from channeled energies, okay? So what else do I have to say about tarot card readings? Really, that's it. I typically will read the cards based on the kind of general idea of meaning of what each card is, add additional depth based on my clairaudient, clairvoyant, and claircognizant abilities. And then from there, I like to clarify with a different deck. So this is another tarot deck I like to use. And I will shuffle and then gain additional clarity. Say we want to get additional clarity on this Magician card here. I'll pick two or three cards usually to give me more information about this Magician card, and additional psychic insights will come through based on these clarifying cards. All right. So yeah, that is how I read tarot cards. Often when you're doing a collective reading, you'll have a lot of people that the reading doesn't resonate with. And so it's basically like I'm looking out at an audience of people in like an auditorium. And so the stronger energies come through, as if you're giving a speech. You'll see 5 or 6 or maybe even 10 or 20 different people in the audience who kind of stick out to you. You kind of see their faces in the audience, and that's where a majority of the energy is coming from. Okay, so that's how I read tarot cards. Please subscribe to my channel. Also hit that like button if this helped you understand or resonate with what I'm saying here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.